Estate Administration. Call Crosswhite Law today, 704-873-7233.
Looking for a large private room for your next work function? Or maybe you need a place to bring the whole family for a delicious meal? Pomodoros of Mooresville has the perfect space for your crowd. Book your next event at pomodoros.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
It's 11:06 on WSIC News Radio, and you're listening to We're Just Saying with Senator Vicky Sawyer and David. Like to be part of the show, 844-STUDIO-4. We are streaming live on the WSIC News app and all the various social websites out or web apps, whatever they are these days. Whatever they are. Anyway, social places.
I don't know that we've ever made it through a successful entry in the past, like 3 or 4 months.
Probably not.
Radio professionalism may be in question here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody has their day. Everybody has their day. As long as the content is quality. The intro can be suspect as long as the content is quality.
And it always is, my friend.
It is. I mean, we bring it. We absolutely bring it. Just ask us.
I'm going to ask you something.
What's that?
You're going to be my therapist today.
Oh God, you're in bad shape.
Am I really?
If you're coming to me as therapy, you're in a bad place.
Oh my gosh, I am just nervous.
About what?
The election.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, just nervous.
Your election or a broader election?
Well,
I mean, has your opponent climbed within 30 points yet?
I don't know.
Do they even poll on your race?
I don't know.
Okay. I'd say so. You're probably not nervous about that. I know you have to play the whole, I don't know. Everything's going to be a slug. It's going to be a fight. Every vote counts. Every year race, whatever.
Look, you have been in this with me for a long time now, and remember our first election day together?
I do.
When I was on the ballot in a Republican primary, and you
needed a tranquilizer. You didn't need therapy. You needed a tranquilizer that day.
I know. And we drove around to every place we could in Iredell and Yadkin County and looked at the polls. But yes, I was like a mess.
Yes.
Complete mess.
Yes, but it all worked out.
That much of a mess now, but I'm nervous.
Well, I mean, the polls are tight. They always are.
Extremely in North Carolina.
As you get down to the finish line, we're about 2.5 weeks out, give or take.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's going to be tight. 18 days.
18 days.
Well, and there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot riding on this election. I mean, every time that there's. I mean, obviously that's stating the obvious.
I know.
But it's like, and by the way, water's wet. Everyone.
I didn't realize that Captain Obvious came in for the show.
But anytime we have the presidential election, right, everything's just ramped up to a new level as opposed to like a midterm. So I mean, everything's coming hot and heavy. I mean, did you see our illustrious vice president's interview with Brett Baer?
This is
on Fox News.
Yes, this is how you talk to me when I need therapy. Is that we can make fun of somebody else, especially that interview. Like, what a disaster.
Well, it's funny because everybody was kind of saying, okay, there's got to be something going on that she would go do this, right? Because she has actively avoided any confrontational interviews.
Correct.
She has only started doing interviews when it started to become a problem that she wasn't.
Right.
And then she was going on, hard hitting places like The View and and like some podcast that's like, I think about sex or something like that. And everything like that. But she finally sat down for an interview and she got the treatment that Donald Trump gets and J.D. Vance get on every single thing. And bear in mind, J.D. Vance is doing interviews almost every Sunday. And he's doing them with unfriendly outlets that only want to, that are confrontational, that have no problem, trying to, bring in fake news, as they call it, and ask him about it. And he does fantastic. But you can tell in that interview with Brett Baer, what you clearly saw, in my personal humble opinion, is someone completely inexperienced in dealing with any type of tough questions or any challenges. Someone who was completely unprepared for the questions that was asked of her, and someone who came across as completely, and I've thought this forever, but anyone who is not just deluding themselves to a certain level is going to look at that interview and say, that person is qualified to be president of the United States. It's impossible. You can't do it. Regardless of your feelings about Donald Trump, you cannot look at her and say she's capable of being president.
Yeah.
She's a moron.
Finally, the question was asked. I think that inquiring minds want to know. When did you know that the president's cognitive ability was in sharp decline? I mean, you touted that you were at the Situation table and you'd met with him every week for the past 3 years of your, being the vice president, or 3.5 years at this point. Like at some point, when did you know that he wasn't all there? And she just like got combative and said that he's not on the.
Well, Joe Biden's not on the ballot. Nobody.
No,
that wasn't the question you were asked.
Right, because the question you're asked is a credibility issue. Like, if you're going to be president, then I need to be able to trust you in order to be honest with things that 75% of the American public polled could see that Joe Biden was in decline, and yet you're sitting there still covering up. Now, I get the point that she's like in a weird spot because, it's the president and all this other stuff, but, she's on the ballot and her credibility, especially on this issue, is completely just junk.
Yeah.
I mean,
the entire reason, like you said, the entire reason she is on the ballot is because Joe Biden has gone senile.
Right.
That's the entire reason she is there.
Right.
There is no other reason for her to be there.
So own it and be honest and move forward. Man, right there, that answer within itself, right there, totally just solidly, I was always behind Trump, but I hope it takes some independents that were on back and forth to know that Trump is absolutely the answer. Whether you like his personality or not, the man does just come out and tell you like it is.
Well, he does. And again, there's Trump's personality and there's Trump's policies. I myself have a number of issues with Trump's personality in multiple different ways, but his policies, when he was president in this country prior to COVID, which no one had any control over except China, but but I digress.
Well, and Anthony Fauci, we comes to find out.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And all his stock in Pfizer.
Yeah.
But prior to that, from a political standpoint, from an economic standpoint, from an international standpoint, you cannot argue with the results.
Right.
All right. From illegal immigration to tax policy to economic growth.
Middle East.
Everything during Trump's 4 years up until COVID was fantastic for this country. And then you had Joe Biden and Kamala Harris come in, inflation out of control, mortgage rates out of control, housing market essentially frozen, turmoil everywhere, overseas. And no one can look at those and compare those two things and say, oh yeah, I want 4 more years of this.
So I could think, and I smell some fear in the water for the Democrats. I was I guess fortunate or unfortunate enough, I was interviewed by an AP reporter yesterday, and she was really drilling down on the two things that for some reason national reporters think is going to change the election in North Carolina, and that's abortion and transgender rights. And she kept going on that. And I'm like, I appreciate that narrative, but the polling and my own family show that my young daughters, the ones getting ready to graduate college, they're worried about inflation and cost of living and how they're going to be able to afford an apartment and how can they get groceries and why can't they go out and enjoy their time with their friends because they don't have the money to. Those are the real issues, and Trump is the answer for those issues.
Oh, 100%. And did she ask you about January 6th? They like talking about January 6th at the national level.
I do, and I was just going like, they just continue to have and I've heard from off record from some other reporters that there's just this national narrative to be pushed by the media onto North Carolina that somehow the abortion and transgender rights are the number one things, but the polling are showing that is not the case in North Carolina.
Look,
it is the economy.
I will be fair with you. I would love the national media to talk as much as they can about transgenders and boys and girls locker rooms and boys and girls sports and everything please. By all means, talk as much as you want about that in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Run every single story you possibly can, because the only thing that's going to do in North Carolina is assure a Trump victory.
And that's what we're hoping for.
You're listening to what you were just saying on WSIC News. We'll be right back.
There's more We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicki Sawyer on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather's staying dry, getting a little more pleasant as we get into the upcoming weekend. For our Friday, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures get back into the mid and upper 60s for the afternoon. Heading into our Saturday and Sunday, the low 70s will come back. And as we get into early next week, temperatures moderate a little bit closer to normal again. Morning lows will be in the mid-40s, with afternoon high temperatures in the mid-70s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like ISI Denver.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Lost Worlds Brewing Company in Cornelius presents their Sunday Fun Day on October 20th. Fleetwood Mac tribute band The Chain and Untethered Soul with frontman Nick Prestia take the stage for a day of live music. Lost Worlds Brewing is ready to welcome a big crowd to their back parking lot with a concert stage and sound system from Waves Entertainment. Lost Worlds off West Catawba Avenue in Cornelius presents Sunday Fun Day with an outdoor concert on October 20th. Monthly trivia with the WSIC gang is back at Micaiah's in Mooresville on October 22nd. Join us at Micaiah's off exit 33 from I-77 for Halloween-themed trivia on Tuesday night, October 22nd at 8 p.m. Trivia winners will receive a family 4-pack of tickets to the Renaissance Festival. Have some October spooky season fun with WSIC on-air hosts and try to win Renfest tickets with Halloween trivia Tuesday, October 22nd at Micaiah's in Mooresville. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals on the 6th of November through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's top 3 series in a title-deciding 4-day showcase of on-track action, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single-day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated. The World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track on the 6th of November through the 9th. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back, Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Jousting, knights, mermaids, fairies, dragons, oh my! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Don't miss it!
It's We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio with Senator Vicky Sawyer and David. If you'd like to be part of the show, 844-STUDIO-4. We are streaming live on the WSIC News app, Facebook, YouTube, and all points in between. So right before the break, we were talking about the disastrous Kamala interview, but let's get to the root of your problem. If I'm going to be your therapist now, let's talk about the root of your problem. What has got you so anxious? And I believe it rhymes with rolls.
Not the doles.
No.
Polls.
Polls. Yes.
Yeah, that's
you love you love your polls, don't you? You love digging in and looking at those things.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We put so much emphasis and time and money and personal stake into elections, and so you kind of do want some sort of weather vein of where's things happening and what is going on. And the polls in North Carolina are just so tight on everything. So what do we have? So for Trump, the latest John Locke polls, what we're going to look at, and the latest margin of victory. Listen, I'm thinking positive, right?
Yeah.
This is my therapy session. The latest numbers are showing that Trump is up 1 point over Kamala Harris. But you, my friend, you didn't bring data and science to this. You have a different opinion.
I do. And I don't think it's that close. I really, really don't.
You don't?
I don't. And look, here's the thing is I think there is a segment of the population that, probably will vote for Trump that doesn't want to speak to it in a poll.
Yeah.
But here, this is just my thing. It's just that, and again, nothing scientific about it, but every single presidential, right, just in North Carolina, there's a feeling, there's the motivation. And again, I run in Republican circles, but also, I'm around a lot of people and and the people that we talk to and stuff like that, people who have been, had nothing to do with Trump 4 years ago or even 8 years ago,
right,
are saying, I'm going to vote for
I'm
the guy.
done.
And if you look at the internals of those polls, you see that she is polling worse than Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton in every single demographic.
Oh.
Every single one.
Oh.
And Trump won against, Hillary. Joe Biden won in 2020, not by a ton, but he won. And so she's polling worse than both of them with key demographic groups.
Right.
And I also look at how are Democrats acting right now.
Yeah.
You have Obama going out and trying to shame African-American men.
Did you see?
I saw it,
my
trying to shame African-American men
gosh.
into supporting her. All right. You see multiple Democrats who are like sounding the alarm, sounding panic buttons, and that is not the mark of people who think they're winning. So the internal pollings that campaigns have are exponentially better than maybe not exponentially, but are a lot better than what you'll see a lot of times nationally from news organizations and things like that, just because they're just so precise in their demographic targeting and everything like that. She does not behave like she's somebody who's winning. Her party and its leadership does not behave like it's somebody that like she is somebody who is winning. And I just don't. I think Donald Trump will win North Carolina 2% or better.
Okay. Well, interesting enough, I saw a tweet today that was put out by Jim Blaine, and this was at Jim Blaine. And his comment was, interesting day one totals for North Carolina politics early voting after first day of in-person early voting. So he compared 2024, which obviously this is where we're at, to 2020, which is the last presidential election. In 2024, there was 36% Democrat turnout or for the first day, which is down 13 points from where it was in 2020. So to your point, maybe there is some enthusiasm gap in the Democratic Party in North Carolina. From 2020 to 2024, the unaffiliated vote is up 11 points. And I'm sorry, the Republican percentage or turnout is up 11 points at 33% than we were 4 years ago. So it seems like the base, there's more enthusiasm, at least on day one, for the Republicans, and the Democrats are actually losing that enthusiasm. And of course, the unaffiliateds are right about the same. They turned out about the same, between 29 and 30%. So maybe there's some facts to your feelings.
Well, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I agree. Feelings aren't facts. I'll be the first to acknowledge that. But it's just when you look at the way, just the anecdotal evidence.
Yeah.
The Democratic candidate. I mean, she started doing a bunch of interviews for a reason.
Yeah,
if
that's
she
true.
was winning,
True.
I mean, because they
True.
know. They know
True.
she's a disaster. I mean, the less she is on TV, the better for her
Right.
in anything unscripted.
Right.
She needs to be scripted. She needs to have her teleprompter. And even the town hall that she did, there was a video that came out that actually she had a teleprompter for a town hall she did on a TV. So I mean, she cannot be unscripted.
Right.
She can't do it because it's an absolute disaster. Her
Which is
people know
scary.
that. And if you remember, if you watch the interview with her on Fox and then Brett Baer afterwards, they were supposed to have about 30 minutes with her. She showed up 15 minutes late, and then he basically got about 20 minutes with her, and halfway through, 4 members of her staff were like waving their hands, gotta cut it
Yeah, they
off,
cut
gotta
it
cut it
off.
off, gotta cut off. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like throwing in the towel because they could see how disaster it was going. Again, there's no reason you go do that interview if you think you're winning.
So her vice presidential pick isn't much better.
Jazz
There's a
hands.
funny name for him that is a female product in his name, right?
Yeah, and
We can't say.
Well, I mean, but it's not.
I mean, but did you see him try to load it?
Yeah, we can say it. It's not one of the 7 unforgivable words.
Okay.
Our crack producer in there has confirmed.
Okay.
You can say
I
it.
just don't have him. You say it because you're a man, and I just think it's fun to watch men.
Well, Tampon Tim. But it's less about it. I mean, granted, some of us with a crass sense of humor apply that a little bit more to how he is. But he's called that because he's the guy that signed the law to put tampon dispensers in boys' bathrooms.
Yeah, that's right.
In Minnesota. I mean, really? So I mean, it's.
Did you see the meme? Because of course, he had to go show how manly he was by going hunting, which obviously he was having an issue with his very expensive rifle that he had.
That he's had for years.
For years,
he's
right?
had
That he
it.
takes out, right? And he couldn't basically load the easiest rifle to load, which
Yeah.
my understanding, not that I'm a big hunter.
Well, where is he at? A Benelli. which is a fantastic shotgun, not difficult to load. And again, I'm not a big hunter or anything like that. I've shot skeet, shot pheasant, and stuff like that. But my father-in-law has several very nice Benellis. He made sure to show them to me the first time that I came home with my now wife. But extremely easy to load. These are not complicated pieces of machinery.
How funny! Like, shouldn't you practice that before you got out there to make sure that you wouldn't have any?
You would think, but the meme I saw was like him, like the way he was dressed, he looked like Elmer Fudd, and so it had Elmer Fudd right next to him. We do have a caller here on We're Just Saying on WSIC News. Good morning. Hi, you're on with Senator Sawyer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Heard you all folks talking about the polls, the numbers, and all that. I've got something that I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention.
Yes, sir.
That the Western North Carolina folks that should be doing the mail-in and all that stuff that didn't have the opportunity to. According to a source that I found, there's been about 33 zip codes in Western North Carolina that's been dropped because of the damage to the post office, or they just can't get to the people to deliver the mail. I think about 28 in eastern Tennessee and about 18 zip codes in northern Georgia. Now, you talk about numbers. I mean, is it 50,000, 60,000? What's the point difference between the Democrats and Republicans winning? That, with the exception of Asheville, you got that blue dot up there in the middle of solid red. All the mountain folks up there are pretty much conservative folks that's going to vote Democrat. And now, how are they going to vote if they don't have power up there yet? They don't have an opportunity somewhere. How are they going to vote? Who's looking into this?
Yeah, so we thank you for that. And that is absolutely at the beginning of this, one of the major concerns that we have. I'm looking through because I was reading this morning, Avery County, which is one of the most affected boards, or counties as far as their polling locations, they had record turnout yesterday for early voting.
That's awesome.
People are angry because of the federal response, and they are come hell or high water, and to go out and vote. And so, yes, we absolutely have. I think there's only, I'm going to misspeak, but there are most voting sites are up and running. And in those places where they're not, they have figured out with the Board of Elections how to get a temporary site or to get, a temporary site. And so they are absolutely doing great work on making sure that folks can get out and vote. But I was surprised to see that, I believe it was Avery County. I'm going to try to check this out, that they actually had record numbers of early voting.
Yeah, and thank you very much for the call. And that's the concern is something we talked about last week on the show. Was that's outside the blue dot of Asheville, it is reliable Republican territory up there, and a lot of votes that are going to be needed. If Republicans are going to carry the state, both in the federal and but also in the statewide elections. Yeah. But it is great because you guys have had mobile voting units mobilized. I think you had told me like Louisiana offered some of theirs because they're accustomed to this down there. Yeah. And so, but it is a legitimate concern to make sure that those people up there, one, just have the ability to vote, but obviously from a party standpoint that they do come out and vote because it's so reliably Republican up there. Yeah.
In Avery County, I just pulled it up. They had 681 votes cast yesterday, and 361 of those were Republican. Unaffiliated was 219, and only 101 Democrats. So there are voting, and they are getting those things done up there.
And also remember that a lot of times when you get into the western part of the state, people are reliably Republican but have never changed their voter registration from Democrat. They conservative Democrats from back in the day, blue dogs, that align more with the Republican Party today, but just have never changed their never changed their party affiliation. Yeah. So and up there, those portion of those Democrat votes may be still Republican votes. You never know. But it is going to be interesting to see. I think watching the turnout numbers throughout early voting and on election day is going to be key to trying to figure out, where things are headed. Yeah. You're listening to We're Just Saying on WSIC News. We'll be right back.
return with more of NC Senator Vicky Sawyer, and We're Just Saying after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather staying dry, getting a little more pleasant as we get into the upcoming weekend. For our Friday, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures get back into the mid and upper 60s for the afternoon. Heading into our Saturday and Sunday, the low 70s will come back. And as we get into early next week, temperatures moderate a little bit closer to normal again. Morning lows will be in the mid 40s, and afternoon high temperatures in the mid 70s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Make your work easier with Eagle Rentals of Troutman and Statesville. Eagle Rentals has generators, heaters, fans, painting equipment, floor care equipment, pressure washers, lighting equipment, and lawn care equipment. Plus, Eagle Rentals has construction equipment like forklifts, bobcat loaders, backhoes, excavators, and more. Reserve online at eaglerentals.com. That's eaglerentals.com.
Tell Me Lies brings Fleetwood Mac's greatest hits to life with authentic sound and high-energy performances. Catch the show on Friday, October 25th at 7:30 p.m. at Cain Center for the Arts. Learn more at cainarts.org. That's CAIN arts.org.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
For over 57 years, Nelson Royals has been serving the Lake Norman, Mooresville, Statesville, and surrounding counties. Nelson Royals has work in Western clothing and over 4,000 boots and shoes in stock. Brands like Ariat, Rocky, Justin, Durango, Tony Lama, Red Wing, Thorogood, Skechers, Hey Dude, and many more. Check them out at NelsonRoyals.com.
Temperatures are heating up, but the prices are cooling down at Randy Marion Ford Lincoln here in Statesville. How about this? Over $8,000 off F-150s. That's the XLT trim, that's the Lariat trim, that's the Platinum trim, that's the Limited trim. That is the Crew Cab, that is the Super Cab. You name it, Randy Marion Ford. We got it right here in Statesville at a big discount on F-150s. Again, over $8,000 off. Come see us today, I-77, exit 49B.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Tractor giant Deere & Company is being investigated by the Federal Trade Commission. The agency is examining whether its repair practices violated antitrust or consumer protection laws. The existence of the investigation was made public in a filing by a third party in the case. Deere issued a statement saying it was cooperating, but it could not comment any further. Good news for Apple as the demand for iPhones in China has picked up. Earlier in the year, the company struggled to gain traction in the country, but new data from Counterpoint Research shows that so far the iPhone 16 is outperforming the previous model by 20% through the first 3 weeks after its release. Google is continuing to merge its artificial intelligence groups. The Alphabet company is now moving the team behind its Gemini AI assistant app to its DeepMind research lab. Google's looking for ways to improve the Gemini models to challenge the likes of OpenAI and Anthropic. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
Call now to speak with NC Senator Vicky Sawyer at 844-STUDIO-4. It's We're Just Saying on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio with Senator Vicky Sawyer and David. I'd like to be part of the show. You know what I've never said? The
What?
phone lines are open.
Oh.
844-STUDIO-4. I've always wanted to say that. And we are streaming live on the WSIC News
Well,
app.
apparently things we say trigger folks who
Yeah,
like
there
to.
was, apparently there was like a whole like run-on sentence on the Facebook feed, and then it's gone now because I
Yeah.
wanted to read it, but apparently our crack producing staff saw it, and there was like no punctuation in it at all. So
Yeah.
somebody was obviously very angry.
upset.
Very angry at our comments on the good vice president.
I mean, we've only been talking on about politics for the last 4 years on the radio, but yeah, we were told that we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And-
Well, obviously, it worked me saying the phone lines are open because we do have another caller. Hi, welcome to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio. Roma Senator Sawyer, good morning.
Yes, good morning. I just want to share this information with the two of you.
Yes, ma'am.
She needs to stop worrying about the Republicans. She needs to stop worrying. But second, I voted at Statesville, North Carolina yesterday. The lines were horrific, really long all around the building, but it went smooth.
Good.
You waited a little, you got in. It was very, very organized and very smooth.
Good to hear. Thank you so much for calling because I was hoping someone would have called in that voted yesterday. when you were in the line, what was your sense of the folks that were around you? Was there,
Well,
yeah.
say this, there was a little girl that she thought she was Camilla, and she was blabbering and blabbering. She sounded like a little robot, and so she said something, and the gentleman in front of me, they just tried to shoo her off, shut her off, and so we just said, we vote a Republican ticket all the way down.
Good. Okay. Well, it sounds like seems like there was a lot of folks who were Republican around you then, and
There was.
good.
There was. I bet you 80% of them were Republicans. I do believe that.
Good.
And there was a mixed crowd, an ethnic crowd, and Caucasians.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you so much for
so
calling
much for
in.
the call.
I'll try to quit worrying. I promise.
I want to say one thing to you, and I hope it doesn't offend you, but when I listened to you, I said, is she competing with Kamala for her laughing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say that. So I appreciate the comment. So I'll try not to laugh anymore.
I'm careful about that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that kind criticism.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yes,
Have a
ma'am.
good weekend.
Yes. David?
Yeah, you laugh nothing like Kamala. You laugh nothing like Kamala.
Stop making me laugh.
I'll do my. I'm sorry, it's not possible.
Hello,
I'm inherently hilarious, and so you can't not laugh with me.
Yeah, I completely understand. I'm not going to laugh anymore.
Trust me when Kamala cackles. You laugh. There is a distinct difference between the two. There is a distinct difference between the two.
That sounds good. Well, I'm glad you called because let's talk about Iredell County. And there were lines out the door all day long. So I live near the Lake Norman Fire Department. There was lines this morning. There were lines all day yesterday. Oh, and we do have a caller on hold, so we can get to that. But before we do, Iredell County, there were almost 7,000 votes cast. 3,500 of those were Republican. Unaffiliated was 2,500 of those, and the Democratic votes were 1,742. So we did have a nice little mix there.
Very nice. We do have another caller here on We're Just Saying on WSIC News. Hi, you're on with Senator Sawyer. Good morning.
Good morning, David. Good morning, Miss Vicki.
Hey,
this
sir.
is William. How are y'all?
Hey, William.
Good to hear your voice.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, the lines are jam packed. They really are. It's really encouraging. I'm just be frank with you. I'm proud, number one, to being an American, and I'm also proud to be a North Carolinian because I think we're really all stepping out here. I think that's going to continue to be the case. My mother now is in her 80s, and I'm trying to take care of her. And she come to me several weeks ago and said, "Son, I don't know which way I'm going to go," because she doesn't really care for Donald Trump. She just point blank says that she thinks he's arrogant. But I told her, I said, "Mama," I said, if we go to church on Sundays to listen to the preacher, and that's all that is. And so you need to look at it as that Donald Trump is not a preacher. We need a leader, and it's the only way we need to go with this. And I would say that for everybody. I would encourage everybody to vote for Donald Trump. Whether you agree with him, whether you like him or not, we need to vote Donald Trump back in. Because if nothing else, it gives us another day to fight. Because if we let the narrative win, Vicki, David, if we let the narrative win, I don't believe we'll be able to vote again. I think they'll try to stop us from voting. Swing states, which is one of our states is a swing state, will be a thing of the past. I think it'll be one republic. I know that sounds doom and gloom, but I'm serious. I think that's just how crazy and serious it's gotten to the point to where they're trying to stop us Americans from voting. They want to vote for us, and I don't want that. I want freedom. So if you want to sum all this up in one word for all of us to go vote would be freedom, period.
Absolutely. William, thank you so much for the call. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah. So thank you for both of those calls. I love hearing from folks. So the statewide thing, I think one of the things that I'm nervous about is that the polling is so close for the Council of State. But did I hear we have another caller on the phone? Or
yeah, but keep going.
Okay. So we have very close margins for very important races like insurance commissioner and attorney general and, the Department of Labor, Luke Farley, those guys right there. We have some really great candidates at the state level, and I'm just praying that they can pull it through.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll dive a little bit into those numbers here in just a minute, but we do have another caller.
Oh, gosh, okay.
See, when I said the phone lines are open,
Yes.
that has been the key right there.
That's
When
the
people hear that,
ticket.
it's the ticket to
I
call.
know.
Thank you for calling. We were just saying on WSIC News Radio, we're on with Senator Sawyer. Good morning.
To me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm not going to go in who to vote for, but if somebody wanted to be elected president, they would promise to outlaw or curb robocalls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the second thing that they would do is they would make it a felony without parole if you are a hacker or you are taking advantage of the internet. And the third thing, if your country allows hacking to go into the United States, you will get suspended for 2 days, all business internet at our whim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this would make a tremendous difference. And all the illegal things that people stealing over the internet. And this is something that really affects people.
Yeah.
The first one about the robocalls is if you're young, under 70, you don't understand that that call makes a person with arthritis or in a wheelchair or other afflictions get up and try to go over and answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just quick answer it and hang up or whatever. They hang up on you. And it really is a detriment to the elderly population and the handicapped.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyhow, the people that are all lined up out there to vote, they ought to just take a minute and think, you can vote for like a week, and you can probably, I have gone up there and been the only one in line.
Yeah.
And my vote counts just as much as everybody else.
That's right.
There you go.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Thank you so much for the call, sir.
Thank
Hope
you,
have
sir.
a great
Thanks for the
weekend.
suggestions.
So, obviously somebody who could probably get on board with your no polling signs and right-of-ways and no electioneering,
Yes.
adding the robocalls to that list.
And you know how you can stop a couple robocalls, especially when it comes to elections and text. If you do vote early, then folks will scrub your name off their list, and it stops it takes a few days, right? Because they have to update it. But every night you have these very sophisticated folks who will see that you voted. They don't know how you voted. They just know that you did vote. And then they will take your name off the list because they don't want to spend money on someone who's already voted.
Right.
So maybe some of their interests of people early voting so quickly is they know.
So people will leave them alone.
Leave me alone. I voted. So
It's interesting because I got last week when I got home, I checked the mail and I had 5 different mail pieces.
Did you?
In my mailbox.
Yeah.
I had 2 for Trump. And this is what's interesting to me is that I'm a registered Republican, reliable Republican. You're still sending me, Trump, type stuff. And the Democrats are sending me stuff, and it's like, guys, I'm like the very definition of the one you don't send things to.
Right.
I really am. I mean,
Yeah.
Absent, a couple of instances or something like that, you're wasting money on me.
Yeah.
Okay, you really are. I wish there was this thing that you could fill out to say, you're wasting your money on me, and this isn't just because I don't want your mail. It's because you're really wasting your money on me. You really, really are. I promise you, cross my heart, your money could be better spent on something besides sending me all of these pamphlets. I don't read them. They go into the trash, as I think a lot of people end up
You've got 7 seconds to catch someone's attention on a mailer.
Yeah.
And yet they continue to say that those mailers work. But we have somebody, my daughter had registered as an independent. And so I get her mail, even though she's at college right now, I get her mail. And so I get to see what they're doing to target young people, and definitely it's just eye-opening. So I'm actually reading all of the mailers and everything to see what the other side is doing, and it's
Has she gotten the Manly Men for Trump swimsuit calendar yet? Let me know when that one comes. You're listening to We're Just Saying on WSIC News. We'll be right back.
Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on the way from 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather staying dry and getting a little more pleasant as we get into the upcoming weekend. For our Friday, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures get back into the mid and upper 60s for the afternoon. Heading into our Saturday and Sunday, the low 70s will come back. And as we get into early next week, temperatures moderate a little bit closer to normal again. Morning lows will be in the mid 40s. And afternoon high temperatures in the mid 70s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Lost Worlds Brewing Company in Cornelius presents their Sunday Fun Day on October 20th. Fleetwood Mac tribute band The Chain and Untethered Soul with frontman Nick Prestia take the stage for a day of live music. Lost Worlds Brewing is ready to welcome a big crowd to their back parking lot with a concert stage and sound system from Waves Entertainment. Lost Worlds off West Catawba Avenue in Cornelius presents Sunday Fun Day with an outdoor concert on October 20th. Monthly trivia with the WSIC gang is back at Micaiah's in Mooresville on October 22nd. Join us at Micaiah's off exit 33 from I-77 for Halloween-themed trivia on Tuesday night, October 22nd at 8 p.m. Trivia winners will receive a family 4-pack of tickets to the Renaissance Festival. Have some October spooky season fun with WSIC on-air hosts and try to win Renfest tickets with Halloween trivia Tuesday, October 22nd at Micaiah's in Mooresville. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals on the 6th of November through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's top 3 series in a title-deciding 4-day showcase of on-track action, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single-day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated. The World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track on the 6th of November through the 9th. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Jousting, knights, mermaids, fairies, dragons, oh my! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Don't miss it!
Now back to We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vicky Sawyer on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio with Senator Vicky Sawyer and David. Like to be part of the show. Our phone lines are still open on 844 Studio 4.
David, don't make me laugh.
I'm sorry. God,
don't make me laugh.
I told you I'm inherently hilarious.
It's
just unavoidable. It's just like,
gosh, forgive.
I know, right? It's like you might have to kick me off the show if you're not going to laugh
anymore.
I'm
going to talk like this now from here on out.
It wasn't your voice, it was your laugh, remember?
I know.
We do have a caller here again on WSIC News Radio. Hi, you're on with Senator Sawyer. Good morning.
Sick and tired Patriot here, Vic.
Hey, sick and tired. How you doing, brother?
Hey, sir. Good to hear your voice.
Well, I just wanted to weigh in. I hate I missed the first half of your show. Talking about the law, making laws and stuff. People would be aware of things if they was getting the correct news. If the people that own these news stations these days, I guess I should digress on that. You know, as I heard Jeff Neely say in the past, that money is what makes this world go round. Well, I'm gonna bust everybody's bubble. Now, God spins this earth.
That's right.
And we've got it all in the power to, if we just get correctly educated and know what's going on and things, that we'd make the right decisions on our own. And, you know, I was listening to Jeff James this morning on the radio. And what should have been some eye-opening, jaw-dropping news that he bombed. It was like bombshells to me. It's like, you know, real good information that's coming out there. Who's really running things? And I've heard the mayor of Cornelius talk about how y'all got these think tanks that come up with all the money and what's owed, what's due, and this, that, and another. It's all about that money, and it shouldn't be like that when you're in office. It should be about what's right and what's wrong. And if we get more, get Bible back in the schools, courts, in our everyday lives, especially at the dinner table, I think we can straighten this world out a lot faster than having to go make a bunch of laws of felonies and putting stumbling blocks at people's feet.
Yeah.
The people calling in, and I've heard people even call in on your show here and say stuff like, we need to jack his property taxes up so we can go in and take his property from him. That ain't America. That is not America, people.
Right.
Wake up, learn your Constitution, and fight. That's all I can say.
Yes, sir.
Sir, well, thank you for the call, Secretary. It's good to hear your voice.
Thank you for taking my call, and thank you for everything y'all do.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as we kind of close out the show, I reminded me, because I believe Sick and Tired Patriot may live near Love Valley.
Okay.
And there is a fantastic mayor named Tim Meadows, and he's doing some good work up there. And he reminded me this morning that they are having a bull riding contest October 26th.
Ooh, nice.
Free to the public. And so, guys, if you want to go up there and enjoy just like a good old rodeo, it is in Love Valley.
If you've never been up to Love Valley, you really have got to go up there. It is so cool.
Yeah, I love this name. It's called the Buckfest.
The Buckfest. I love it.
Bull ride opening and Eli Vastbinder boot launch. But anyways, Saturday, October 26th, 5 p.m. Open, 7:30 start, free admission. Go to Love Valley, enjoy one of our local treasures, and go watch some bull riding.
And make an afternoon of it. Walk down the Wild West town as
it
is.
Yeah.
And you will have a fantastic. Kids love it.
It's so much fun. It is so much fun.
Now, are you going to go up there and ride the bulls?
No, I have been bullied.
Bullied from riding the bulls?
No. My very good friends who are on the show with us are bullying me.
Uh-oh.
They are making me go to not one, but 2 Halloween dress up Halloween parties.
Wow. So
I am not happy about
this. Do you have to
this.
have a separate costume for each, or can you wear the same costume?
This is how they're bullying me. It's like through very good guilt. They are making a Friends costume.
Oh, no. So it's a theme.
It's a theme. And if I'm not a part of the theme,
it ruins it.
It ruins it. So these women know how to get to me because I can't let them down. And they're already sending pictures of and getting all of these things together. And thus, I will be miserably dressed up.
So what is the theme?
Do you remember Dixie Chicks?
Unfortunately.
Really? Yeah. Well, they were good until they went out against Bush, right?
Yeah.
They had some really
good. Until they went psycho on Bush,
Well, there's been a resurgence of a song lately that kind of defines some of our youth. Earl Had to Die.
Oh my Lord. So wait a minute. So there's 2 friends and there's Earl. And which one of you is Earl?
No. There will be a Earl-like-ish character.
Okay. Because I was going to say, the song's 2 friends and Earl. So it's like.
But the Dixie Chick. Yeah, that is true. But you're
actually going to dress up as the Dixie
Chicks.
Okay.
Yes.
And then there will be a 4th or a 5th. That'll be Earl.
Listen, all I know is that I'm guilted into it. I know where I have to be, what I'm supposed to wear, and I will chagrin my way through it.
That's pretty creative, I'll be fair.
I mean,
like when guys do themes, it's like, the Justice League, like superheroes or something like that.
Without the tights, I hope.
Oh yeah. Oh no, absolutely. You gotta have the tights. It's just a must. But you girls are very creative in their group costumes. They really are.
I know. So that's where I will not be able to go to Love Valley on October 26th. I will be very nervously still worried about the election and praying and hoping that we can pull off a really big win. You don't know. I know where to show up. I know what they're going to do. They're going to dress me.
Oh, okay. So they're ordering all the accompaniments and everything.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't like
really
dressing up for Halloween.
I know you don't.
I just don't.
This is like your own personal hell that you're
going
through.
It is.
We've talked about before how much you hate that. But I love they're making you do it, though.
I know.
Step out of your comfort zone.
I'm an adult. Kids dress up at Halloween. I'm an adult. But I guess I'm an adult who's going to be dressing up for Halloween.
Everybody's a kid at heart. You know, well, not everybody, not you.
Yeah.
But that most people are still have a little childlike in them. Want to dress up?
Yeah, I guess. Well, my dress these days are a Vicky Sawyer for Senate t-shirt, pair of jeans, and a pair of black boots. That's going to be my dress up from here until the election day. Asking for your vote, hoping you'll come out and vote for me.
So what was your favorite Halloween costume as a kid?
Okay, so I told you I was born a poor white.
Yes.
And we didn't ever have money for Halloween costumes, so I had to go make my own. I found, and I did this like 3 years in a row, I would like scope the trailer park for a box, and I would get the box, and I would cut 2 holes in a neck, and I would draw the word like Coca-Cola, or actually I'm Southern, so Pepsi. So I would draw a Pepsi Cola machine with black magic marker and blue paint, and I would be a Pepsi Cola machine.
That's fantastic.
Every time. But I didn't, and the hard part is that we didn't have those cute little orange pumpkins. We would have to use our own pillowcases as our
I used a pillowcase.
Did you really?
I used a pillowcase, absolutely. Because the little orange pumpkins were too small. You get much more inventory if you use the pillowcase.
Yeah, so it was really hard to navigate the pillowcase with my arms like straight up.
That's awesome.
So I was like, trick or treat.
You had like Tyrannosaurus Rex arm. It was like, you're like, I got a big head and little arms.
So what was your favorite Halloween costume?
So I would have to say my favorite Halloween. So as a kid, I always wanted the superhero costume with the mask. So it was this is the 80s, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like rubber, like the plastic pants and the plastic shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could put the plastic mask on, and you were a superhero. So like one year I was Superman, one year I was in Batman. But in college, I went on a trip to the Ukraine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were doing some construction project with my church over in Ukraine.
You didn't see Hunter over there?
No, that was pre Hunter Biden, obviously. But I was over there, and we went through one of their like street fairs and things like that, and they had a ton of like old Soviet memorabilia.
Yeah.
And so I bought a Soviet Union like commander's hat, like soldier hat.
Oh, okay.
And brought it home, and so I had it there, and so I got a brown jacket and like brown pants, and I had on my Soviet things. I was a Soviet officer, and like a lot of people didn't really understand. Like it was backfiring on me because they were like, "What are you, a Nazi?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I'm Russia. I'm Russia. Look, the Soviet." But the hat was the only thing that had it on it. So eventually I had to change out of that because I was getting a lot of criticism for like completely unintended. I was a Soviet officer with my hat. I wanted to show off my hat.
Obviously, your intelligence is just too highbrow for some people's ability to laugh. And...
Yes, my choice of costumes were so educated and refined and in tune to world affairs.
Yes, I know.
No, I wasn't. I just thought it was funny, but obviously it didn't work.
It did not. That obviously did not work out well.
Backfire.
So, are you going to early vote?
No, I vote on election day.
I know you do. I think I'm going to early vote.
I'm tired. I mean, I'll be perfectly fair with you. I don't believe in early voting. I don't like early voting.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer. I vote on election day. That's the day designated to vote, and that is the day that I vote.
All right. Well, I'm early voting.
Well,
I'm tired of the text.
Hey, absolutely. Well, that's fair. I could probably be talked into it with the whole text message thing.
If I can get that early vote in and have them scrub me off the rolls, because I mean, it is just too much. It is too much.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, texts coming all the time.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose their effectiveness, as we had said during the break.
Yeah, it's going to come a point where the saturation is just not even worth it. People don't even read them anymore.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Just a reminder, we will be doing election night coverage, the two of us, on WSIC News. We will have multiple guests coming in, and we have to start putting together our election predictions.
Yes.
Along with Representative McNeely, Jason Sayin, and whoever else wants to participate. Because we're going to see who's got their finger on the pulse of the electorate.
That's right.
On WSIC News. Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9, 100.7. WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.